BT faces mounting cleanup cost of Italian scandal. Global Services Unit again causes serious problems for UK telecoms group. Gavin Patterson, BT's chief executive, faces his biggest test since taking the helm of the former British monopoly and tackling the fallout of a widening scandal at its Italian business that sent shares to their worst days trading since privatisation. That discovery last summer of accounting irregularities in BT Italia shocked investors, reviving memories of the previous big accounting debacle at the group's global services division in 2008. Shares dropped by a fifth as more than £6 billion was wiped from the value of the company. Richard Marwood, senior fund manager at Royal London Asset Management, a BT shareholder, said that the Italian issue was an unwelcome addition to the growing list of investor concerns given the company's huge pension deficit and continuing battle with regulator Ofcom. Given the modest scale of the Italian business, the magnitude of the hit it has caused is concerning, he said. Royal London owns a stake of close to 1% in BT. Again, the problems have been uncovered in Global Services, the division that supplies connections and security products to large corporations and governments that was once seen as the company's main growth engine and appeared until recently to have put its troubles in the past. A whistleblower contacted senior BT managers last summer with a series of claims about how BT Italia's accounts were being prepared. In September, Gianluca Cimini, chief executive of BT Italia, and Stefania Truzzoli, its chief operating officer, were suspended. In October, Mr. Patterson unveiled results that included a £145 million non-cash charge related to inappropriate management behavior that had triggered historic accounting errors at the Italian unit. KPMG was brought in to oversee the investigation at BT Italia, which has led to a much higher cost estimate of £530 million placed on the scandal. Mr. Cimini, who started his career as an auditor with Deloitte, and Ms. Truzzoli have now formally left BT alongside a number of other senior BT Italia executives. Corrado Sola, head of BT Europe and a former BT Italia chief executive, was reported by the BBC to be on the verge of resigning. The FT was unable to reach him for comment. Analysts also said that questions needed to be asked of Luis Alvarez, head of Global Services since 2012, and Mr. Patterson. Simon Loth, who joined BT as finance director last year from BG Group, said that the KPMG investigation had uncovered that BT Italia management was artificially depressing its cost base to appear more profitable than it actually was. BT Italia's management had been taking loans to settle creditor bills, he said, through the use of factoring, or accounts receivable financing, methods. Those loans were not booked through the balance sheet. That is not a practice we would tolerate, he said. The move to unwind those loans and capitalize the costs is reflected in a write-off more than 5 times the size of the overall profit of the Italian business last year. It is a complex situation that involves a lot of people and has gone on for a number of years. It's a business that we thought was profitable but, in truth, has probably not been for a number of years, says Mr. Patterson. PwC was BT Italia's auditors, according to a person familiar with the matter, and also acted as the auditor for Global Services in 2009 when BT was forced to write down the value of the business by close to £2 billion because of business made on unprofitable terms. PwC declined to comment. Mr. Loth said it was premature to say whether BT would take action against its auditor. The company could also become embroiled in external investigations, with the Financial Reporting Council saying that it would consider the situation. BT's Remuneration Committee will also look at whether the scandal and share price drop should be factored into pay policies and whether bonuses will be clawed back from the Italian executives. The Italian debacle will once again raise questions about BT's commitment to global services, with some investors keen for the company to pursue a sale or merger with the larger technology company. A merger with T-Systems, the IT arm of Deutsche Telekom, which is the British company's largest shareholder, has been raised by some investors over the past year, but senior sources within BT have said that the company is reluctant to merge with its German rival. Mr. Patterson said that global services remained important to its business and that the write-off could be an opportunity to reset the strategy. Under the stewardship of Mr. Patterson, who was appointed as chief executive of BT in 2013, the company has turned the focus back to its consumer arm, where the costly outlay on football rights and battle for broadband customers has dominated the headlines. But the issues it faces in Italy are a reminder of the struggles that BT has long had with its global strategy at the time when it admits to new pressures on its domestic public services contracts as well as international corporate business. The company warned on Tuesday that it no longer expected to increase revenue in the current financial year or the year to March 2018 and warned that the UK's decision to leave the EU would depress demand for some of its telecom services. Such domestic travail might yet come to be more significant in the future performance of BT, but Mr. Patterson will first need to deal with the unwelcome discovery in Italy. Bernstein's Don J. Merchandani says, "This unprecedented profit warning has to be excruciating for the chief executive and his management team. Navigating this in addition to resolving the open reach issue must represent the greatest challenge in Gavin Patterson's tenure as CEO."